Dear Cousin Henry, just a note to let you know I've arrived safely at my new posting in what can only be described as one of the armpits of Latin America. The general appearance of the consulate itself also leaves a lot to be desired. But that is the least of my problems. The entire staff seems to be suffering from a prolonged attack of galloping lethargy. And my first job will be to reintroduce a little moral fibre into their daily diet of paella, pink gins, and lots of hanky-panky around the
Good morning, Sanchez.
Buenos dias, Senora Begley. You too, Capitan.
Major, you idiot. The ladyship up and about yet?
Miss Farrington, see, she got up 2 hours ago. She also got right up my nose. Do this, Sanchez, he said. Do that, Sanchez. The floors are filthy, Sanchez.
Well, they are.
Of course they are. Everything is filthy. This is a very filthy country.
Yeah, I'll go along with him now.
Please, Senora, I say, I've only got 2 pairs of hands. But will she listen?
No.
No. Now, excuse me, I got to go clean her filthy office.
And I never thought I would agree with Sanchez, but he's right. It's time that woman went.
Went? She only arrived yesterday.
Yeah, but look at all the damage she's done the last 24 hours.
Percy, the only damage that's been done is to your self-esteem. You can't bear the thoughts of working with a woman on top of you. I'll rephrase that sentence.
Oh, she's not just a woman. See the last monthly bulletin? When she was promoted Consul General, she was 2 pages beneath me in seniority. 2 whole pages. What do you say to that?
Tough.
I can play tough, too. I don't need the likes of Harriet Emily Farrington to make a fool out of me.
It's not here.
Have you not finished yet, Sanchez?
She is finished. What you want I should do before lunchtime? Paint every room in the consulate?
First of all, I'd like you to be a little less insolent, if you value your job, that is. Then I'd like you to ask the entire staff to assemble in the waiting area, where I will address them at 9:30 precisely.
See, I tell them. But, Excellencia.
Yes?
I am the entire staff.
I didn't mean just the domestic staff, Sanchez. I meant everyone in the building. How many do work here, by the way? And if you say only half of them, you're fired.
I no say half. Quarter, maybe. 10%. 5.
Finally, until the property services people arrive from the UK to refurbish the residency, I shall be living here, over the shop, in the guest accommodation. So I'm afraid the frequent all-night parties that you've become accustomed to during the reign of my illustrious predecessor are now a thing of the past.
I told you she'll have to go.
In fact, I think you'll find that many other perks and privileges that you've been enjoying over the past few months are no longer available to you.
What perks and privileges?
Since you ask, the indiscriminate plundering of official supplies, for example.
Come now,
Harriet, Miss Farrington. While I admit the discipline may have been a little lax under Henry Williamson, you could hardly be accusing the entire staff of petty theft.
Hardly petty, Major. According to my calculations, a year's supply of Her Britannic Majesty's duty-free gin has been consumed in around 4.5 weeks flat. Now, unless you all confess to be hopeless alcoholics, some of that gin has to have gone the way of many other missing supplies.
That's an outrageous suggestion.
And unless you can substantiate it, I will have no option but to make a complaint directly to His Excellency, the British Ambassador himself.
Your privilege, Major. But in the meantime, if the person who has the duplicate key to my cocktail cabinet, the liquor store, and any other store in the building has the good sense to hand it over here and now, nothing more will be said. However, if I do not get an immediate response... Well, I seem to have hit the jackpot. Thank you, Major. Please give my regards to His Excellency when, or should I say, if you telephone him. Well, I must say, Annie, I'm very surprised at you.
Are you really?
No, not really. Must be jolly hard to be the only saint in a room full of sinners.
And very boring. But I have to admit, I'm finding it rather stimulating.
What?
Your proverbial new broom. Poor old Percy still doesn't know what's hit him.
About Percy Willoughby Gore, I know we started off on the wrong foot. Why, I wonder, is he so excessively antagonistic towards me?
But apart from the fact that you're a woman,
Oh, there's got to be more to it than that.
there is. He's a complete and utter wally.
But he's got to have something going for him to have been appointed entry clearance officer. Not to mention him also being...
Also being what?
Well, I was about to say head of intelligence, but the word somehow got stuck in my throat.
Yes, it is a contradiction in terms, isn't it? No, the only thing poor old Percy's got going for him is that His Excellency, the British Ambassador, also happens to be his Uncle George.
Yes, well, even that won't save him if he's incapable of doing his job. Now, what's first on the agenda today?
Processing Percy's clients, I suppose. As soon as he's checked them out, of course. With his usual grace, charm, and sensitivity.
You lost your grandmother? It was a bit careless of you, wasn't it?
It wasn't our fault.
Well, it never is it?
She just wandered off on her own, didn't she, Norman?
Wandered off, yes.
Why didn't you keep your eye on her? This is Latin America, not Bognor bloody Regis. I mean, this is hardly the place to bring a woman of her age, is it?
I suppose not.
Yes, but what possessed you to come here in the first place?
It was cheap, you see. Wasn't it, Marge?
Cheap, yes. Special package too. We got it through his union, didn't we, Norman?
Through my union. Yes.
Oh, yes. It was one of those, was it? Enjoying it, are you? Trips round the Ho Chi Minh tractor factory. The nightly sing-alongs, the Karl Marx Revolutionary Choir. The Young Socialist Festival of Folk Dancing and Unarmed Combat. No wonder your grandma wandered off. Poor old bag must have been bored out of her skull.
Now, listen to me. You've got no right to call her an old bag, has he, Norman?
No, he hasn't, Marge. She's not that old.
You've no right to come here and expect me to spend the rest of the day playing Hunt the Geriatric. Just because you've been misled by our own kith and kin. Anyway, now you're here, you may as well fill out that form and I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Yes, I am. I'm not very optimistic. I mean, anything could have happened to her by now.
How do you mean? Anything?
What do you think I mean? It's a jungle out there. A jungle. And if your grandma has ended up in one of those dark back alleys just off the Mao Zedong Plaza... I don't want to alarm you. The price of human life out here is rather less than a packet of fags.
Oh, Norman!
A small packet of fags. Anyway, let's look on the bright side, shall we? Next! Yes, what is it?
Please, you must help me.
Must? It's not a word we use much round here, Pancho. Rephrase it, I'll consider it.
Please, I beg you.
Now, that's better.
You must help me. They're after me.
Who are?
Him.
Them? Military? Police? Or just a couple of giant ants?
No. Listen, I am a cipher clerk in the consulate of the Deutsche Demokratische Republik. And I need political asylum.
A cipher clerk? A cipher clerk in the consulate of the Deutsche Demokratische Republik? That's East German consulate.
I know.
And you want to defect?
I just said so.
Good grief.
Hold on. How do I know you're telling the truth?
My papers. And 2 code books.
My God! My God, these say Klasse Geheimen. That's top secret in German.
I know that too.
Come with me, man, here. Through here. Little door across the room. Right. Miss Farrington, quickly. No.
Forget it.
No, why should I? No, she'll want to take over and take all the credit herself. But if I can pull this off, oh, yes, I might get promotion and a medal. I'll get a ticket out of this hellhole back to the good old UK. Signor!
I wish to go to Inglaterra.
Don't we all, amiga? You'll have to come back another day. I've just shut up shop.
Il consulado extra cerrado. It's closed.
Closed? But they can't be. What about this? What about Grandma?
Closed? At this time of the morning? But that's ridiculous.
Well, that's Percy. He's also said that he doesn't want to be disturbed. Says it's a matter of security. Meanwhile, there are a lot of angry people out there. The natives are revolting, in fact. Sorry, I've always wanted to say that.
Yes, well, now you have, for the first and last time, I trust.
Guide's honor.
Well, I suppose we'll just have to process these people ourselves. But I hope that Major Willoughby Gore has a pretty good excuse for deserting his post.
Well, he's never needed an excuse before with dear old Uncle George on the end of the phone.
Probably not. When Henry Williamson was in charge, but he's not in charge now, is he?
Boy, does Percy need a good excuse?
Yes, Uncle George. Top secret code books. Yes, it is rather a coup. Well, I have been working on the man for some time. Well, months, actually, and all my hard work has at last paid off. Yes, well, thank you. Yeah. I'll keep him under wraps until you have a word with London. Right. Well, no, I don't think we should involve the Consul General because, frankly, I'm not too sure of her competence in these matters, and the fewer people that know, the better. Right? Right here. Oh, by the way, how's Auntie Jeannie? Oh, I am sorry about her veins. No, it's this damn heat. Right. Bye. Right, everything's arranged, and I'm to keep you here until we have a word from London.
Thank you.
In the meantime, you're to tell me everything you know.
Certainly. But first, would it be possible to have a little food? I have not eaten for so long.
Of course, my dear chap. Hello, send Sanchez in here, pronto. Right? Okay. What do you want?
Perhaps a little soup,
Soup, right.
followed by fish,
Fish.
and some chicken with a few fresh vegetables.
Chicken and fresh vegetables.
Fruit and ice cream.
Fruit and ice cream.
And oh yes,
Ice cream.
a little cheese with lots of your English cream crackers.
Cream crackers. You haven't eaten for some time, have you?
Some white wine would be very nice with the fish.
White wine.
And I would appreciate some port with the cheese and the crackers. Preferably 12-year-old Tawny.
Look, Herr Kessler, I no longer have access to the wine cellar.
And for an aperitif, a large whiskey and soda would be most welcome.
Hold on.
My nerves, you understand. The stresses and strains of these last few days.
Yes, one large Scotch.
And I'm afraid I'm right out of cigarettes.
Cigarettes. Nothing else you'd like, is there? A magnum of champagne to wash down a chicken a la king, or half a pint of Napoleon brandy to go with the old fruit and veg, eh?
I'm sorry if I ask for so much. It is only that I have been so deprived for so long. I thought you would understand that. But if you do not, perhaps I've come to the wrong people.
Oh, no, Herr Kessler, look, just sit down there. I do apologize, Herr Kessler.
Sí, Capitán!
Oh, damn it, blast! Don't you ever knock! I want some food for my guest.
Guest? What guest?
None of your business. And if you tell anyone here, anyone about his presence, I will personally have your guts for Giratas. Do you comprehend?
But Colonel...
Major, you idiot! Bring as much as you can from that list.
But Admiral, this...
Now, Sanchez!
But Generalissimo, you must listen to me. This man...
Shut up!
I shut up. Madre Dios, el hombre hasta luego.
Now, you ought to tell me everything you know.
Certainly. Where would you like me to begin?
What about the exact date when the Ruskies and the rest of you commie bastard, when the Iron Curtain countries intend to start World War III?
Bon voyage, senora, and hasta la vista. Or words to that effect.
Thank you very much, Senor Valdez. I hope you enjoy your visit to our country. Next.
That seems to be that.
Well, thank heavens for that. We seem to have cleared a 4-day backlog. What does that man do in here all day?
Not a lot, apparently.
And nothing at all at the moment. Well, enough is enough. I intend to find out what he is up to.
Perdóneme, Excellencia.
Now, Sanchez.
Oh, but senor, I must have the keys to the wine store.
Why? I haven't ordered any wine for lunch.
Then now's your chance.
Well, Sanchez,
I cannot tell you. My lips are sealed.
then unseal them and quickly.
I cannot, senor. He tell me if I tell you, he have my triper for suspenders.
He being Major Willoughby Gore, presumably?
Major who?
Now, listen to me, you irritating little man. You take your orders from me, not the Major. And I am ordering you to tell me what this is all about, here and now.
Oh, senora.
What now?
You're magnifico when you're angry. Magnifico. But I still cannot tell you.
Why not?
Because I give my word. And the word of Fidel Roberto Gustavo Sanchez está sagrado.
He means sacred.
Thank you, Miss Begley. And now I'll give you a word, Sanchez. Unemployment.
Perdóneme.
Speak up or you're fired.
Oh, that's different. What do you want to know?
Where's the Major? What is he doing and with whom?
He have a little party.
A party at this time of day?
See, food, wine, brandy for his very special guest.
Ah, Percy, I didn't know he had it in him.
And who is this very special guest and where does she come from?
She? She's not a she. She's a him. I try to tell him it's not what he think it is, but he don't listen to me.
Are you trying to tell us that the Major is entertaining a transvestite?
What is transvestite?
Miss Begley, why don't you finish your monthly report?
Oh, yes. Well, if you don't need me anymore, Miss Farrington, I think I'll finish my monthly report.
Now, Sanchez.
Well, I know this hombre. He's been here before.
Excuse me. Any news about Grandma?
But Grandma. Chickadee Egg Cup Company Limited, Soley Hull, P.J. Messiter, sales manager. Dear Mr. Messiter, thank you for sending us a sample of your product. But as all the chickens in this country are of the small bantam variety, with correspondingly minuscule eggs, the practical effect of your standard size egg cup would be that of putting a ball bearing in the bottom of a bucket. And finally, a reminder to the proconsul to have the Monday returned.
Miss Farrington!
That is correct, Major, but what is not correct is the way you come barging in here.
This is an emergency. I understand you've given instructions. I am no longer to be supplied with food and drink.
Not food and drink of this quality, Major. This is the British consulate, not the Savoy Grill.
Sir Sanchez opened his big mouth, did he? Yes, I thought he would. But did he also tell you I have a defector in there, a cipher clerk from the East German consulate who wants to tell us everything he knows?
Not exactly, no.
Well, I have. Shook you, didn't it? That's who I want the food for. Now, do I get it or not?
Not from me, no.
Did you hear what I said? This is the biggest break we've had in years. What this man wants, he gets.
Then I suggest you send out for it and pay the bill yourself.
Right. That's just what I will do. But when this story hits the headlines, I wouldn't like to be in your zapatos, Senorita Farrington.
Rather mine than yours, Major.
Right. What?
Because if I had been informed about what was happening right from the start, I could have saved you a great deal of embarrassment.
Embarrassment?
You should have listened to Sanchez, Major. I did. Here.
What's this?
My predecessor's file on local undesirables. I think you'll find your defector on sheet number 5.
Yes, that's him, Helmut Kessler.
Oh, that's what he's calling himself now, is it? It was Yuri Polakov a couple of years back, when he claimed to be a defector from the KGB.
No, I don't believe it. His passport.
A forgery.
Code books.
Probably 10 years out of date.
His accent.
As real as a £2 note. I'm afraid your newfound friend is a fraud, Major. A professional defector who's been at it for years, playing one country off against another, very often just for the price of a meal. And as you say, when this hits the headlines...
Oh, my God. What am I going to do? What am I going to tell my uncle?
I've already told him. So that he won't make a complete fool of himself with London.
Oh, Lord, what did he say?
Do you really want to know?
No, not really. He's got a very nasty turn of phrases, Uncle George, very nasty. Oh, my God, this is going to look terrible on my service record, you know.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Oh, dear, how sad, what a pity. But then you can't win them all, Major.
Oh, I just want to win one. Oh, just one.
Annie was right. What a wally.
Come here, you nasty little corrupt! Come here, you
Grandma, how could you?
She's drunk, Norman, drunk.
Grandma, we were that worried.
That worried?
Well, she doesn't seem to have come to any harm.
Probably the high spot of her holiday. Ah, well, time to shut up shop.
Yes, why not?
You had a word with Percy, I take it?
Yes, I did, and I've decided to give him another chance.
Why?
Because I've discovered that man has a rare and precious talent.
Percy? A talent? For what?
For shooting himself in the foot. A trick.
Love one.
At the same time next week, Harriet has to deal with a Glaswegian softcore porn merchant.